Hi everyone! So as usual, it's time to find out what book I'm going to be reading next, but first I want to show you the books that I have bought recently. Now this is a mixture of books, and so I'll explain exactly why I've bought them as I go through. So the first one is one that I've been picking up and putting down for probably a few weeks to a month now in Waterstones, and that is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Now the film has been making quite a buzz in cinemas and everything with the trailers and that. It got opened yesterday, and I've just literally I've gotten home from seeing it probably about an hour ago. I really enjoyed the film, but I have this feeling that the film is going to be quite different from the book, but I just really loved the concept of it. Ready Player One is set in 2045, where everyone in America live on kind of these stacks of caravans and such. I don't know if you can see there, it's the equivalent of apartment buildings, and it's set in Ohio, and it follows a guy called Wade, and in order to kind of escape what's the horrors and such and stuff that the world has gone through, people go into the Oasis, which is a virtual reality game world, and they're constantly in there and are constantly playing games. And it was set up by this man who has passed away, and he said when he died that he'd put a load of Easter eggs in an Easter egg, in the middle of the game. And to be able to get the Easter egg, you need to pass 3 challenges to get keys to unlock the Easter egg. And if you get the Easter egg, then you win $1 trillion and you own Oasis. And it's about him and various people trying to find the keys to get the Easter egg and to own Oasis. And I love the concept of it. I quite liked the trailer, and I went along today and I really enjoyed it. It was a good film. I loved all the 80s references and everything, but I have a feeling that the book is going to be on a whole nother level than the film. I feel like the film is probably quite fluffy in comparison to the book. But yeah, so I got the book because I'd be really intrigued to read this. And I have a feeling that if I don't pick it out of the jars before June, because June is my month to choose books to read. If I haven't picked it out by June, I think this is going to go on my reading list for June. Now the next one is a book that my sister has read, because we have both in this past week joined a group on Facebook, a reading group that has like 20,000 people in, and both of our book lists have gone sky high because the amount of recommendations this group gives, the reviews, the discussions is absolutely fantastic. And she got recommended a book which she got a copy of. She read it in 2 days and was absolutely raving about it. So because I had seen people raving about it already in the group, my sister then got the copy and she's raving about it. I just know that I'm going to like it. So and that is The Couple Next Door. It's a thriller novel about an event to do with a child that goes missing and what really happened from various aspects of different characters in the house on that day. And yeah, I don't know anything more than that, because I haven't wanted to be spoiled, because there's been so many discussions going on in the book group about this. I've wanted to stay away spoiler free. So yeah, I'll again, I think in June, if it hasn't been picked, I quite like to read The Couple Next Door by Shari Lathina. And then finally, last weekend, I went to see Blood Brothers at the theatre where I live. I adore the musical Blood Brothers. This was the 8th time that I'd seen it, and so I've been like obsessively listening to my Blood Brothers soundtrack on my iPod constantly for pretty much a week. And Marilyn Monroe is a really strong theme throughout the book, throughout the play, and because of the book group that I'm a member of now, I've been joined the past week, I query people. I'm thinking about Marilyn Monroe. I can't stop because of Blood Brothers. I'm quite like to read a book about her. Have you got any recommendations? And somebody pointed out that she actually wrote a book herself, which wasn't published until a decade after she died. And so I got a copy, and it's My Story by Marilyn Monroe. And this is the illustrated edition with the exclusive photos from Milton H. Green Archives. It's absolutely stunning book, absolutely full of pictures. Let me just find, yeah, so like for example, you know, they're just scattered about throughout this book. They're stunning, and it was weird because I went on Amazon when I ordered this special edition version was cheaper than the non-special edition version. I was like, oh, come on. So I got this one. So yeah, I'd be really intrigued because you know how I love old Hollywood and everything, and I've read various books about various stars, but I don't think I've actually read one that's actually written by the person themselves. I have got, saying that, I have got a book of Shirley Temple's autobiography, but I haven't got around to reading that, and that's in one of my non-fiction jar. But I'm so intrigued to read this. I got strongly recommended it, and the reviews that I've read online have been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, so that's My Story by Marilyn Monroe. And that's the last book that I've been buying recently. So yeah, if for two of them, certainly, if I haven't pulled them out my jars by June, I'm going to put them on my June list of books to read. But anyway, the book that I'm going to be reading next, this won't take long at all because of course I'm reading a fiction trilogy, so it's going to be the next book in the trilogy, the second book, and that is The Subtle Knife, the second book in His Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman. Again, I've got a very shiny cover because this is the 20th anniversary edition. It's all green, the last one was all blue, and the third one is purple. So this is the continuing adventures with Lyra, and because of the events that happened in the previous book, this isn't giving anything away, but the previous book is set in her universe, which is parallel to ours, where your soul is in the form of an animal that follows you throughout your life. That initial book was set in her universe. This one is set in our universe, and the third book is set in a third universe. That's what I've come to understand from the covers and everything. So yeah, so this is our universe, the second in the series, and it's called The Subtle Knife, and I will be back with my thoughts on that as soon as I can. Alright then guys, bye!